Hello friends, this is .py. Welcome to my YouTube channel about Python programming language. So friends, in this tutorial, I'll be covering 5 crucial points of today's lesson. The first one is the naming of Python. Why such a weird name? And also I'll be describing all its distribution, all its flavors currently in the market. Also I'll be describing how a program, not only Python but also Java, C++, all such programming language, or the codes get executed. Also I'll be describing how a Python interpreter works. Now the next point, the fourth one, will be the anatomy of PVM. PVM is nothing but just Python virtual machine, like we have JVM in for Java. So what is PVM, and what PVM do, and what is the role of PVM in the execution? And the fifth and last one will be that the compiled version of Python or .pyc. So friends, now move on to the first point. Why such a name, such a weird name? Isn't Python the name of a snake? Sorry, Python is the name of a snake, and most of the people know that, who are not from the computer science or from the IT background. But actually, Python, the name of this programming language, is inspired from a 1970s TV series, a BBC TV series, which is Monty Python and the Flying Circus. Turns out the creator of Python programming language, Guido van der Zoom, really liked this show, and he take the name Python from it and use it for his programming language. Now, talking about the flavors of, or the distributions of Python, it is like mostly three flavors or distribution widely used in our market. First one is the C Python. Most of the system module like iter tools, like function tools, like context manager, those are written in C Python. Iter tools mostly written in C Python. As for the Zython, there is another implementation which is Java is like integrated with Python, and that implementation is named as Zython, and it is quite good and quite nice using Java with Python, because Java is already been using in several areas, not only in analytics but also in big data, in framework, in database areas, and several areas. So it is a good choice. Last one is Iron Python. Iron Python is like implementation of Python in .NET. So most of the people who are using Anaconda, they might use them. They might come up with the name of Spider. So Spider is a very cool IDE for Python. So in Spider, while compiling a code, you guys see the name Iron Python. It is like it is the implementation. The implementation of Python that is used there is based on the .NET. So that is for our first point. Now moving on to the next one. So friends, now let's discuss how a computer program, it may be Python, it may be C++ or Java, Rust, any programming language that executes, and computer understand what is a business logic, what is a logic, or what is the algorithm or data structure written inside, and output, and shows you the output according to your need. That is done by some of the program, by some of other programs, and we call it a compiler. In some cases it called as an interpreter. But this compiler or interpreter, they are not a single program, they are like a package. So what are inside this package? So whatever the scripts, whatever the programs are there, first they go to a tokenizer. A tokenizer simply synthesize this code, like splitting this code across the global space and find out what are the keywords inside. It also check the syntax behavior, or the syntax analysis been done by this tokenizer. Then there is a parser. Now what a parser do? Parser checks for the semantic analysis. Now semantic analysis is related to automata. I will describe this whole stuff in my different video, but not this one. It will take more lengthy and bit boring, so I'll describe it somewhere else. Now for Python, there are LR1 parser been used, or LARC parser used. For Java, the parser is different. So there comes the optimizer. I will explain why there is no such optimizer program for Python. Okay, but for for Java or for C++, there is an optimizer. The optimizer simply recognize why there is a memory leakage, why there is a place of further optimization, and applies the same to it, and it provides. And the next step is linking. Now, what is a linking? Linking is nothing but whatever system library you used, the linker simply creates a linker array or something like that. It's nothing but just an array, and provide all the information inside. It's the contiguous memory allocation and provides all the information inside, so that the loader program understand what module or what package they need to load while executing the program. Okay, after that it creates a bytecode package, or it create a container of a bytecode, and the virtual machine execute the bytecode. So this is how actually a program executed inside a computer memory. And there are a lot of games with the registry, with the stack, with the heaps, and I will understand this whole stuff in my different video, where I will be explaining the context-free grammar, the automata, and all those stuffs, but not here. This is totally related to Python. Sorry guys. So this is how a typical program execute. Now we will move on to how Python interpreter works. Now friends, when it comes to Python interpreter, it is nothing but just a typical interpreter. There's no magic, nothing inside. It also has its own tokenizer. It also has its own parser for semantic analysis. It also has its own linker program or the loader program. In the linker program, it typically called the PVM linker, which generally loads all the modules that you import during while writing the program into the volatile memory or into the registry while executing it, and then it comes all to the PVM or the Python virtual machine. Python virtual machine take all this stuff, or take the bytecode rather, and it produce, or it shows you the output, the desired output. Now the virtual machine which is used in Python, it is PVM. Some people call it Python virtual machine. There are some people who call it as a parallel virtual machine. Now I'll tell you the anatomy of Python virtual machine in short. I will describe it in my document, and I'll share it with all of you guys. The link will be available soon in the video description. The PVM has mainly three parts: a stack, rather an array of registry. The next one is the instruction library, where several instructions, the machine level instructions are there. The first one, let's discuss about it. Let load first, say pop first, say push first, let's say add 1s, and there are something like that. And there is another part which is your standard output console. The PVM already got the byte object, or the container of the byte object, or the byte code rather, and put them into the stack for further process. Now it has the bytecode already has the load first, the pop first, the 1sx, this kind of machine level instructions written. Okay, now these instructions are already written inside the instruction library. What PVM do? PVM read that byte object, and when it encounters a command, it simply see what that command wants me to do. That command wants me to print 5 to the console. Yes, then it will simply provide an output to the standard output console, which is in maybe your command prompt, maybe the IPython console, maybe anything, and it shows 5. So this is how PVM works. So I know guys, this is very short because I don't want to bore you. This is a very detailed stuff, and I will create my own white paper on that, and I'll share it with you guys, and the description, the link will be there. Also, don't forget to visit my GitHub page. The GitHub page link will be available soon. It is only available for Python. There are several other my GitHub libraries are for C++ and Julia also. So this is whatever the PVM looks like, and you can see it. So the question is why we learn PVM, what we gain by learning it. The thing is, every time you write a code, be it Python, be it any stuff, you need to understand what benefit or how a virtual machine works to get the things done, so that you can optimize most of the things by yourself and the machine doesn't have to do that much of thing, and you already taken care of. That is why you can make your program runs faster. That should be your optimum goal, because nobody will pay you for a slow code, right? So this is the analogy of learning all this stuff. Hope you guys will like it. So we now talk about the compiled version of Python. Python is also a compiled language. So when it comes to the question about the compiled version of Python, I'll tell that there is a module called PyCompile, and it gives you the compiled version of Python, which is the .pyc. Now, what is the advantages of a .pyc over a .py? The advantage is the .pyc runs faster. It's execute faster. So this is one of the major advantage. But there is another application of a compiled version of Python, which is nothing but just a code masking. So I'll describe later what is code masking, how we can do that even in a open source platform. So this is for today's tutorial from .py. Hope you guys will enjoy it. Watch till the end and do click the subscribe button. Wait for the newest update. I will tell you guys about most of the important modules like Context Manager, Colorama, NumPy, Pandas, Scikit-learn, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Keras, Theano. There are a lot of fantastic cool modules in Python. I will share all my knowledge with you guys. I just want people learn Python from their heart, and you will be Python developer in no time. So till then, goodbye.